Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man istanna bi sunnatihi ila yawmiddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Before we start, inshallah ta'ala, this is week 17, and as you know, we do only once a week. This before we used to do like 3-4 days a week. So week 15, 16 and 17, inshallah ta'ala, we'll have a quiz. And the quiz will be after the long weekend, obviously. So maybe on Wednesday, I think, I don't know, 26th is Wednesday, right? 27th, something. So Wednesday after the long weekend, inshallah ta'ala, maybe after Isha, because after Maghrib is too early. So, and before that, inshallah, this Monday I will supply the study material, inshallah ta'ala. So let's begin. Just a quick review of what we did the week before yesterday, last week. Sorry, the importance of Allah's knowledge. Basically, Allah gives knowledge to different nations. The book, but they try to corrupt the knowledge and they try to hide the knowledge. So we talked about those. We talked about the ayah about the jihad, and Allah said, this is something you probably don't like, but there are things that you don't like, but this is good for you, and there are things that you like which is not good for you. And then also Allah said, ayah about the sacred months, we know the 4 months are sacred, and also the ayah about spending money. Because, how should I spend the money? The Sahaba asked this question to Rasulullah. So Allah said, spend your money for your parents, for your relatives, for the orphan and everything. And also the ayah about the wine and gambling, that because Allah said, this is all haram, there's nothing good in these things. And also at the end, the ayah about the orphan, Sahaba, because that time, a lot of people were orphaned because their father probably died in the battle or something. So people used to raise the orphans. So how do they raise the orphan? How do they separate the food of them, so they are not, guilty of taking the money from the orphan? So Allah explained this in this ayah. So today we'll talk about the ayahs actually about the intimacy between the husband and wife, and mostly about the divorce matter. So today's matter is mostly about the divorce and the relationship in husband and wife, and what Sahaba radhiyallahu anhu asked Rasulullah. And in the Quran, Allah mentioned this topic a few times. But in Arabic language, it's a very rich language. Allah could have used any kind of words to describe this kind of relationship. But it is the eloquence of the Quran that, He used such a beautiful examples in these things, and such a nice way to put the ayahs that, if you really think about this ayah instead of just reading through it, you'll be amazed that, how beautifully Allah put this relationship and the pictures that we should do, the rulings that regarding to this situation. So the first thing that Allah talks about here, that they ask you, this is about the marriage basically, starting before going to the divorce, Allah talks about the marriage. And these are the laws. When you talk about law, always start with do not, don't do this. Why? Because normally laws are for those who break the situation, like who are not normal. Like if there's a sign in the road 60 kilometer, right? So nobody will come that say, brother, you can do 10 kilometer in this road, brother, you can do 20. No, if the rule is you cannot exceed, so you do not go over 60 kilometers. So law is the first situation that is someone crossing the line basically. So Allah is saying here basically, don't marry a mushrik woman. So in mushrik sense, not Ahle Kitab. Mushrik means people who are worship the idols and everything. So Allah is saying, don't marry a Muslim woman until she accepts the Islam, or until she accepts the Iman. So now, the first thing Allah said, don't marry a mushrik woman. Meaning what? Shirk. Allah brought the shirk thing first. That is the most important thing. Doesn't matter how the girl looks, how the girl, her family is, or how her status or education is. The first thing is the Iman. So the importance of Iman, Allah bring it here that we should not marry to the mushrik lady until she accepts the Islam. And when she accepts the Islam, then nobody talks about it. Sometimes we talk, oh, he got, she became Muslim because she loved this boy, she became Muslim just for the marriage. No, we are not able to judge this thing. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when they have Iman, they say La ilaha illallah, that's it. She is a Muslim and she is allowed to marry. And then also Allah said, a slave girl is better than a mushrik woman. A slave girl, obviously, because the slave girl has a lower status, she has a better status than a mushrik woman. And then Allah says, even if you all, and Allah used the word kum means you all. And why Allah said why you all, like suppose a whole family, not the person who is getting married. The person, his family, his uncle, his father, his friend, everybody like a mushrik woman, still it is not good for you. That's what Allah is saying, that that you all, and also Allah saying, both the cases Allah saying that don't, Allah talking to the men first, don't marry the mushrik lady. So what is the next instruction should be? For the woman it should be that don't marry a Muslim man, right? But no, Allah didn't say that here. Allah said, don't marry the mushrik woman. And then Allah said to the men again, don't marry your woman to the mushrik woman. Meaning, both scenario, men are in charge. Meaning, if someone wants to get married, he is not supposed to marry a mushrik woman. And someone wants to give their daughter, meaning their daughter, their sister, or the wali, that, I am in charge of this girl, he's my sister or my daughter, whatever it is. I am also not allowed to give him married to a mushrik man. So both the cases, man has the right, because for ladies we need a wali to get married and everything. So that's what Allah mean here. And at the end Allah is saying that, look, those people, those mushrik women, if you go into marriage, they will fall into the fire. They are taking you to the hellfire. That's what Allah indicate at the end of this ayah. The next ayah Allah talked about وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْمَحِيزِ. Mahiz is mean menstruation, the period of the lady. So Sahaba asked about these things to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in reply Allah said, this is a pain. And this pain here means, this word pain, azan, Allah used it in different places. Even for the, when people of the Bani Israel was giving trouble to Musa, Allah used the same thing. So this is not a pain like only physical pain. This is a pain that, in your mental and in spiritual and everything. So Allah is saying this is a pain, so keep away from her. And keeping away here means that, keeping away means don't go close to her in intimacy. It's not like that, your wife is in the men's and you tell her, no, you can't come to me. Because in a lot of tradition in our country back home, even a lot of Muslim countries, they think this is a very bad situation. You can't even come near to this and everything. And I saw a documentary that some villages in parts of India and in some other area in Pakistan, if the woman has the period, they have a separate room outside of the house. So they have to stay there for 7 days, 6 days, whatever time it takes to get purified, they will stay there. But we have a hadith from Rasulullah, a very popular hadith in Muslim Bukhari, very simple hadith, that Aisha radhiyallahu anha had haid, and she had the menstruation, and she come close to Rasulullah, she even combed his hair and everything. So everything is fine, and and a scholar said at that time you are not allowed to pray obviously, but you can do even dua and zikr and everything. So there's nothing wrong. The keeping away here means that keeping away from intimacy. And then also Allah says there's a very important thing here, that when they become purified again. And the word used in Arabic, I wish we all understood Arabic and see the thing. Allah is saying that this for 7 days, for example, for 7 days, they are not in the state of tahura, meaning they are not purified. Other than these 7 days, Allah has created them as a purified state. So the state of the ladies are always purified. As this is what Allah is saying here. But when they have these things, for 7 days, they are not in the state. And after 7 days or 6 days, whatever time it takes, they will come back to the purification time. And right after this ayah, look, Allah is talking about a situation of the woman, right? A day, like a monthly situation of the woman, a physical situation of the woman, or a medical, whatever you can call it. But then Allah finish the ayah that, Allah loves the people who make tawbah, and Allah loves the people who make purification. What is the relationship in the same ayah? The tawbah and purification. Because, and both these things Allah use, if you know Arabic, they're masculine plural. So Allah is talking to the men here. These two words, tawbah, making tawbah and purification. What Allah is saying, even if you make mistakes, make sure that, only woman doesn't need cleaning. You also need cleansing of your heart. Tawbah, what is tawbah do? When do you do tawbah? After doing a sin, after making a mistake, we do tawbah to clean our heart. So it's not only cleaning for them, like, physically, we should be cleaning our heart in this regard. And also the important thing, if you see this, the last Arabic line, you will answer, yuhibbul tawabina wa hibbul mudal. Allah could have said, yuhibbul tawabina mutakabbin. Allah says here, I love people who do tawbah, and again, I love people who... Allah shouldn't use two love thing. Allah could have said, I love him and him. That's fine. I shouldn't say, I love him and I love him. He shouldn't say like this. Because Allah put so much importance. In Quran, this is used in so many times. Even the surah, wal asr, innal insana lafi khusrin, illa lazina. In this surah, watawasaw bil haq, watawasaw bis sabr. Twice Allah meant the same thing. So here also Allah is saying, I love those people and those people. And Allah also making a separation. There are people who make tawbah, who need tawbah, and there are people who need purification of their heart and everything. So this is the ayah ends here. This is the ayah about the women's mens. And the next thing is Allah is saying that, your wives, it's a very beautiful example. Your wives is a place of sowing seed, meaning it's like a farmland. It's a cultivation land. Your wife is like a field where you're going to put your seed. And what is seed means? Seed means here that your children. Allah is encouraging us to having children here. And then Allah is saying, because come to your place of cultivation however you wish. So Allah is saying the way you want to wish him, the way you want to become intimate with her, you can do that for yourself, and then put forth, وَقَدِّمُ. This word is used so many times in different surah. Qaddimu means you invest. You invest something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is your investment? Your children are your investment. That's what Allah means here. Your children are your investment, and we have so many hadiths about that. I just bring one hadith here that Rasulullah said, if you raise your children properly, that's a sadaqah jariyah, as you all know this. One of the three things, sadaqah jariyah. If you make your children who are the hafiz of the Quran and everything, at the day of resurrection, the parents will be crowned with the two crowns from the angels. So all these things about the investment of the boys, and also Allah said, and fear Allah. Why did Allah bring fear Allah? Because Allah said, I can give you the gifts of children, but if you have to fear Allah, how are you raising them? I know a lot of families, and it is popular, that they have 6, 7 children, but the dad probably didn't talk to the fourth son for the last 2 months or something. He didn't have time. He's busy with this one. So if you have more children, have the plan that how are you going to raise them, how are you going to put for them. And then Allah said that then if you really do this thing, then there's a good things for the mu'min. So people who are mu'min and who are raising their children, their investment properly, look after their property, they will have the glad tidings. The next 2 ayah is about the qasam, basically. Why Allah bring the qasam? Because before the marriage, because after this ayah, there will be a lot of ayah, about 10, 12 ayah about the divorce matter. And in divorce, people get angry and everything. This is a very common thing, and they start taking qasam, in anger and everything. So Allah is saying what you should in qasam. Allah is saying, do not take any qasam or any oath while doing good things. What does it mean basically? And 3 types of good thing here. See, suppose you give sadaqah to the masjid every Friday $5, for example. But you have some problem with some brothers in the masjid, and you about this matter, and you decided, no, from now on I'm not going to give this $5 to this masjid. So you're taking a qasam against the good things that you used to do. Allah is saying, never do this. If you're doing some good things, if you're helping some brother and something happened, don't stop this by doing a qasam. Yes, if you have genuine problem, you can do that, but don't take an oath to stop a good thing. And what type of good thing? Allah said doing good to others, or in taqwa, meaning doing something for others or doing something for your own self. Suppose you do tahajjud every night or something like this, for any kind of matter. Don't take a qasam that no, from now on, next 5 days I'm not doing. Allah is not listening to me. I'm fed up. I'm not going to do tahajjud anymore. Forget it. No one like this. And also then Allah saying making peace between people. So meaning making a solution between the people. And then Allah saying that in Arab culture, wallahi is a very common thing. If you talk to any Arab today also, everything they say this wallahi brother, wallahi brother, wallahi brothers. So this is a very common thing, but they are not intended to do something. So that's not a qasam. So Allah is giving them some flexibility here that if you say qasam but you don't mean anything in a casual way, that's fine. Allah is not going to take you an account. But if you really mean something that you take a qasam that you're not going to do this, or you're going to do this but you don't do this, then Allah will ask you in the day of judgment. Okay. Now the next, this ayah actually, just give me 1 second. Okay. Before we go to the next ayah, basically, as I said, those ayahs are about the divorce, and there are very big discussion about divorce. The Al-Kawthar and all these people, they have like 1 day or 2 day class about the marriage and divorce. So we can't do this everything. So this is a very basic fiqh of divorce before we go to this ayah. So just understanding what is divorce and how Allah wants us to practice this thing if we need it or something like this. So very simple. And this is based on one of the madhab. There are difference of opinion in different system, but very simple way. There are basically 3 general ways to break a marriage. There are 3 general ways to break a marriage. There's one called fasq, one is talaq, the divorce, and one is khula. What is fasq? Fasq means something external thing broke your marriage. It's not husband and wife is very happy. But for some reason that something happened for the husband part. It's not basically there's not a problem between those 2 people. So the husband became a Christian. He doesn't like Islam. He has a good relationship with his wife, but he's feel like I don't want to be Muslim anymore. I want to be Christian. When he became a Christian, the marriage is automatically invalid because the Muslim lady cannot be married with a non-Muslim guy. So that is one of the example of the first. And talaq, we'll talk about talaq. And khula means that when a woman has the permission to give divorce to the husband, means not divorce, she wants to get rid of the husband. So with the, actually this is in presence of the Islamic Qadi or whoever it is, you have to go to the Qadi and tell him, look, there's some reason I don't want to slave with him, and if you want some money, I can give him some money also, but I don't want this relationship. So this is from the lady's side, basically. But there are other conditions regarding this. So we'll talk about the divorce only. So divorce is the most common thing to break a marriage, as you all know, and this is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because some of the religion, like Catholic religion, in their proper religion, they don't believe in divorce. That's why when they married, they said, till die for each other, but they have the most valid, most number of divorce anyway. But that is, according to the religion, they don't believe in divorce. But for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah gives us the option for divorce, because not every man is good for every woman, and not every good woman, like not every woman is good for the man. So this is the worst case scenario. Obviously Islam doesn't encourage this, but it is an option that Allah kept us open, so that both parties can have peace in their life. And also this is generally discouraged. So nobody says that if you do divorce you get reward, because Allah says divorce in the Quran, and so divorce become fard or something, and if you do divorce it will have reward. No, there's no reward in divorce. Yes, but some cases you are allowed to, you're bound to get divorced. Like if you found out that your partner or something doing something haram thing, and we have witness and everything, so it is compulsory for you to get rid of this lady, or compulsory for the lady to get rid of this man if you found something like this. And there are two types of divorce basically, revocable and irrevocable. Revocable means that when you give divorce, you have the right to cancel it. This is for the first and 2 times, and there's an irrevocable one. So revocable divorce has 2 conditions, meaning what? You must give divorce 1 or 2 times. It's not the 3 times at the same time. And also the lady has to be in the waiting period. What is waiting period means? That a lady, a general lady, has either she is in her period, or she is not between the 2 periods, or she is pregnant. If she is in the period for the 7, 6, whatever day it is, you are not allowed to divorce her. If she is pregnant, you are not allowed to divorce her. And if you do, it is very, very sinful. Very, very sinful. So the only time is that between the 2 periods, and also not only that, there's another condition, that suppose one of the ladies, she finished her period 7th of the month. Now her husband decided, I'm going to divorce her on 15th of this month. So from 7 to 15, he is not allowed to have any kind of intimacy with the wife also. If she have an intimacy, then he has to wait for another period, and then the cleanliness, and then do that after that. So that is this. And also the irrevocable divorce, that is that you have no right to get him back. There's 2 types, minor and major. Minor means that you have given the divorce 1 or 2 times, but the waiting period had passed away, meaning that there's a waiting period for 3 months, and as we'll go through the ayah. But after 3 months has passed away, you can still go to your wife and say, I made a mistake, but the waiting period is over, but I still want to get you back. In that case, you have to have the marriage again, you have to have the witness and everything again. And also there are Sunni and Bidi type of divorce, meaning that the Sunnah divorce means how the Rasulullah taught us to give the divorce, and you give the divorce, you wait for 3 months, another divorce, wait for the 3 months, and that's it, finished. And then there are Bidi divorce, there are people say 3 times in 1 time. Talak, 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 talak. And this is very common in our countries, and this is a complete sinful act. One of the Sahaba, great Sahaba, Abdullah ibn Umar, he did this. Actually, no, sorry, he didn't do this, but he did, he gave divorce to her wife in the waiting period, when her wife was menstruating. So at that time it was invalid. So 3 or 3 equal 1 basically. So lot of the scholars, most of all the madhab, all the 4 madhab said if you talak 3 times at the same sitting, it is finished. The marriage is finished completely. There's no chance of return. If you go to Hanafi, Shafi, Hanbali, Maliki, all madhab. Only one scholar, Ibn Taymiyyah, and his student Ibn al-Qayyum, they said no. If a man give divorce 3 times in 1 sitting, that is considered into 1. That is considered as 1 divorce. But there's a big ikhtilaf. So if there is some situation like this, you better go to the sheikh or something and ask them. So, but most of all the madhab says 3 equals 3 and finish. Now, the last thing, these are the ayat. I didn't put the Arabic ayat because they're 2 big ayats. So I just want to put what Allah said in this ayat about the divorce thing. Allah is saying that before the divorce, if you want to separate from your wife, the maximum time limit is 4 months. That's one thing. Second thing is, when you're separating or we are divorcing, if the lady is pregnant, she should let her husband know. She should not hide. But sometimes the husband and wife is angry. and get divorced or something, and the lady herself said that no, I have a pregnancy baby, I'm not gonna tell him. I'm gonna raise this baby by myself. I don't want this father for my children. No, she cannot hide. She has to tell the parents. And both husband and wife has rights and responsibility in this regard. But in this regard, man has more right. And this is a common ayah that all the most of the people use, that Allah has given preference of the men over the women. Actually, it's not like the case. It is in context. In this case, because as we mentioned, that if you divorce your wife, but only husband, and you are in the waiting period time, you have the right to call your wife. Okay, that's fine. I give you first divorce, but I don't want to continue. I want you back. I made a mistake. Whatever it is. So man has the right to do this. And in this case, man has the daraja, the more authority over the ladies. And also, divorce is twice. Allah says in the ayah, I'll divorce marratain. Now, you must be thinking, why divorce is twice? Divorce all the time is 3. Divorce is twice means you give first divorce. Then you wait for 3 months. 3 months means 3 periodic cycle of the lady. After 3 months, you give another divorce. This is the second divorce. Then you wait for 3 months. And then the marriage is finished. Because you have given 2 divorces, both the waiting period is finished. The third time, even if you give the divorce or not, that is already gone. So that's why Allah says, Al-Taraku Marratain. The talaq is twice. And also Allah says there's 2 words, Maruf and Ihsan, meaning after giving the first divorce, if you think, okay, you want to take her back, you take her back with Maruf. Maruf means what is, with good intention and everything. And if you think, no, I'm not going to stay with her, this is finished, I want to get rid of her, then you do it with Ihsan. Ihsan means it's better than Maruf. So you give her a gift and everything, and you have a good relationship. Don't torture her or something like this. And also men are allowed to keep nothing. So when the lady is leaving, talaq has done, and the lady is leaving, you are not allowed to keep anything. Forget about the mahar. Anything in this house that belongs to her, you should give it to her. And Allah used the word shay'in. Shay'in means anything, every little thing. Some scholars say, even if you find like a safety pin or a rubber band or something for her, and it belongs to her, you should give it to her. Because Allah may ask you for that. And also, one of the most common haram practice, as you all know, that Allah said in this ayah actually basically that if you divorce your wife completely, you are allowed to marry her when she gets married to other woman, other lady, and other man, and the divorce happened there, or that husband dies, then you can get married. But this is a thing that most of the countries in the Southeast Asia, they take it. So this is called hilla biya or hilla marriage or something like this, and they give talaq, they repentant, and they hire a guy, say, okay, you marry to my wife for 1 day or 2 days or 1 week, then I will give her talaq and I will get her back. This is completely haram in Islam. And also Allah said, do not make joke. In the same ayah, Allah said, do not make joke of Allah's ayah. So even in this, the matter of talaq is very serious. And the hadith is the famous hadith. Rasulullah said 3 things, you shouldn't do it even in joke. Even if you're joking with your wife and say, I divorce you, it is 1 divorce. Simple as that. So you're not even allowed to do joke regarding divorce. And also the favor of Allah, Allah is saying that at the end of this ayah that Allah has given you the blessings for Quran and the hikmah, the Quran and the Sunnah. So follow this regarding this matter. And at the end, Allah saying to the relatives and the friends and people near the wife. So the husband who have divorced, like separated, first divorce happened or second divorce happened, right? And the waiting period is still on. Sometimes they had reconciliation between them, but people around the lady, maybe her sisters or her parents or her friends, they say, no, don't go to this man. He already gave you divorce twice. Why you soften your heart? Go back to her. And they are trying to stop her. Allah saying, don't do this. If the husband and wife has agreed after the marriage, they want to come back again and give it another go, another chance, let them do it. So last instruction is for the people who are near the wife, and because they have the chance to do this. So inshallah ta'ala we'll finish it here today, and we'll have exam on these 3 weeks. I will make the study material. So jazakallahu khair. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.